trust Iran. They would take out the whole island if they could. I could see them flooding it with missiles and drones, and sure, they even if 20% of them got through, that's a lot of damage, and we could lose a lot of people. But I think they're going to hammer it really hard for a while, for the next couple of weeks. I'll be interested to see what this negotiation thing is, because he's sticking to it that he's having negotiations. Making comments that will be out of there in maybe 2 weeks or a little less. So, to me, I can see letting the Israelis, or I just don't know what to think about the Kurds going in. You got a whole different aspect there, but I think if we pound them hard enough and long enough, and we can take enough sort of resources out, you do start to break the will of the people. Could be fracturing. There's rumors, and I take the rumors with a grain of salt. But Intel was saying that there's people inside the IRGC that are not really wanting to continue to battle. I think they see the outcome to be, bombs being dropped on them. But reality is, I do think they're going to hit them really hard for the next couple of weeks, and we'll see where they're at that point. And then you can maybe start bringing in some ground troops. But I would much rather see us just continue to pound them until, into submission if we can.
So she's.
Can I jump in, Miss KK?
Yes, we just kind of go back and forth popcorn style, but if you find two people that are engaging back and forth, please don't interrupt them, because they'll lose their train of thought.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
It's popcorn style, but just heed to others if needed. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Can I piggyback off of your statement a little bit, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. I brought up some real good key words. Granted, it's a rumor, and I agree with them on that, but the RGC individual members are slightly disbanding the objective. They're leaving, they're fleeing. Based off of, I think Crane was talking yesterday in a brief meeting. So that's something really positive to look at. But when you deal, in my opinion, with the two Muse and the 82nd coming in, is posturing with strength. Like I myself, I've served in Iraq, in Iraqi campaigns, and in Afghanistan, and just the aggression can happen quickly when they realize the outcome. A quick example is when I would do basically take detail, all right? Basically checking documents, passing people through non-commute routes. A lot of times, just a simple hand motion to your grip would digress a lot of activity. And so I think with the Marines' presence there and the 82nd, it's going to convince the regular Iranian military to put pressure on the IRGC to disband. And I think that would be a good motive. I assume that's an intention with the two Muse and the 82nd, is to convince and basically force the IRGC to disband or be pressured by the regular military. Thank you, guys.
Just a quick I'm going to be listening for rhetoric, whether it's Iranian liberation versus sovereignty. So I'm going to be listening for rhetoric. If it shifted in any way from what the initial rhetoric was. If you look at past initiatives that were preemptive, they do shift. So, yeah.
Also, I just want to add also that this is not the same as Afghanistan or Iraq, as we have a population that is very sympathetic to the U.S. That given if we can get rid of the IRGC, if we can weaken them enough to where they flee, to where they start to give them positions, the Iranian people will take over, and they want revenge. They want this regime gone. So we're not facing a population that is hostile to the Americans coming, to any Americans coming in. fact facing a nation that will in fact be supportive and will not be trying to kill American soldiers except the IRGC. So if we can hit them with precise strikes, get rid of the IRGC, make them flee, as someone said, that is the best case scenario, and then we will be able to make something work in Iran. But the Iranian people as a whole just want the IRGC gone and have no hatred for the American people.
Not yet.
Hey, also just a little bit about the Merle with the Mew. So that's what I'm going to try and see if he might give like a little brief hint on the Merle. But you know, I really don't know.
So, I want, hello, good evening everyone. I want us out of the freaking wars overseas. We have our own problems here in the US. We need to concentrate on affordability, on building our military, and improving education. That's all I got for now. And go screw yourself, Leo.
Interesting. So a lot of you guys cite this. I saw some chatter in the comments. Iran's pummeling us. I'd push back on that. What are we at? Almost 90% of their navy is destroyed. Their coastline batteries are absolutely destroyed. Some of their missile systems, like Iran has figured out real quick that as soon as they launch, we hit them. We've interfered with their guidance systems. Diego Garcia was a good case in point. Like these targets that they're launching at seem to be dispelled. The oil implications that Iran is targeting, it seems to be their overall goal is to prevent mobilizations in the Middle East. Even though their fight is with the U.S., they are attacking different entities. The IRGC being gone would be a benefit to literally the entire world. It's not just a destabilized government that's causing problems. A lot of you may disagree with this, but for 50 years, they have provided a ton of proxy problems that exist within the transportation of it. No nation has been safe from it or secure from it. We're forgetting the proxy groups that have conducted terror, including in Moscow, Russia, an ally of Iran, the Asian theater, India, Africa, the continent, literally a multitude of nations. Then we have, of course, Europe.
No more towers. That's good.
Yeah. They in part had issues with the Western world. So again, the majority of this construct is from my lens, and I'm saying this from my lens, is that if you're tired of inflationary prices for goods, oil, even though we don't use Iranian oil, but if you're tired of it in a global sense, getting rid of the IRGC actually is probably the simplest methodology, or at least crippling Iran to the point where they're back in the Stone Age. Either way, I'd be perfectly fine with that. I still have problems with the fact that, Iran, even though we weren't at war with them, they still killed 241 Marines while they slept in their racks in the Beirut bombing, and then cheered about that. They kidnapped hostages, Americans. Some of you may remember Carter, or at least remembered hearing about that, and held them. We have the embassy, of course. We have numerous ships. They even blew up one of our ships, and then we did a Operation Praying Mantis. I believe that was the Operation. Marshall, correct me if I'm wrong. And sank their navy in what appeared about a day. Hats off to that.
It was an awesome display of the American military might in the middle of the 1980s. Oh, you're going to attack our bears? We're just going to get rid of your whole navy. Screw you.
Yeah, we sank it. And there were two major oil platforms. We destroyed those as well. So far, Admiral Cooper has destroyed Soleimani, the destroyer, their prized wartime vessel. It looks like Trump got that fucker twice. So hats off to that. And then the fact that Iran is not attacking just the U.S. or even I guess you could put empathy Israel. But they're attacking like UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, a multitude of nations around the Middle East to try to draw them into the fight, which is really, I don't think the optic war went the way they thought it would. I thought they would, I bet you they were thinking they'd have a rising of support from Muslim nations when in fact the inverse happened. Most of them were in agreement. They want economic prosperity. They're not looking to have more military conflicts. They've actually signed trade agreements with Israel, so they're kind of bypassing that whole shit. So it looks like they want to have an economic race, which I think we can all be in agreement. Probably a better way to go. So I look at this as removing a problem there. Freeing the Iranian people, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to get yelled at. You had 50 years to do that. I'm not interested in liberating you. I understand that your government is terrible to its own people. To be fair, in some constructs, you guys were kind of silent when we had our civil rights disputes, so you didn't say shit then. And really, I think if you really want to replace your government, you could have done it at any point in time in the last 50 years. However, you sat idly by, and you're going to point to a protest that occurred when tens of thousands of you were killed. I understand it. I get that. However, you could have took it over even when they were young and newly formed. You didn't. So, I mean, you've got multiple generations of this. A lot of you have fled Iran and talking about we need to fight on the ground. However, you're talking about that through protected lands. So I'm kind of mixed on that whole liberation thing. What I want is Iran to capitulate and allow the straits to open up. And I want people to not have to worry about proxy groups. That'll actually happen. And I think dismantling Iran, destroying that government is probably a key thing. And maybe these proxy groups will die on the vine because they will no longer have the funding that Iran was helping to provide them, nor the safe harbor that Iran provided them. But let me know what you guys think.
Yeah,
Let's talk about it.
Some people, that are being chat warriors right now, they hate our forward operating position, our base, which we call Israel, but it's actually our military base. But they just don't like those people, so they're gonna hate it regardless.
They get a random attack, that causes some minor damage, and they say, oh, that's a catastrophic hit. It's irrelevant to us. We have enough. We're still flying planes over them that were built and flown 60 years ago.
Like the KDR, people aren't understand the KDRs. Like on our end, the KDRs fucking astronomically more versus our individual casualties.
Does anyone think this would have happened without Israel asking us to help?
I don't think it.
Yes, I don't think it's an Israel thing. It's exceedingly self-serving. We spend at a baseline in the defense budget about $30 to $35 billion. With the ancillary spending, it goes into the 70s or 80 billions. If you deplete Iran's capability to have finances, if you deplete their capability to have medium range and intercontinental ballistic missiles, if you stop their navy, then you are able to degrade their capabilities such that their proxies are now manageable, and the malign interest of the country that has killed 2,000 plus servicemen and double that in number of civilians over the last 50 years is finally punished for their transgression. I have a really, really simple solution. If you don't want America to bomb you, do us all a favor. Don't kill our civilians. Don't kill our soldiers. Then we won't have a reason to bomb you.
Well, and again, I think that's a valid point that, we can actually
Really?
bring up.
Didn't you hear me? I said, if you already spoke, let other people
Why do you do this every time? Like, why do you do this? It's a great.
Shut your face.
What are you
Really?
talking about? Shut my face. You interrupt
Well,
always good
This is the
conversations.
reason why we had problems in political compass. Like, literally.
Really, the problems are all me, right?
Fuck yeah, they are.
Oh, really? What are
Really?
you gonna do about it? What are you
Oh,
gonna?
how about that? There you go. Sit down, little boy. okay? How about that? Oh. Mm-hmm. You can cook your own damn dinner. You have a lot of audacity, and you don't even fucking respect the room. It's like every time I turn around, I gotta deal with your shit. I invited you back up. Don't be a pansy ass now. Jesus. Oh.
I'm here.
Right-minded.
I'm here. I'm really like, you know what? This is why I go into the guest
You know
house.
what?
I have
Shut
missed
the fuck
this
up.
right here.
Shut
I
the
have missed
fuck
this
up.
right here so much.
You're sleeping in the guest house tonight. You're sleeping in the guest house tonight. Okay, I'll just say it now. Everyone's been always saying Brad and I are in a relationship. Yes, a fucking relationship. We've been lying to you this entire time. And fucking Brad, I have to send him up to the guest house because he's going, and the phone's so fucking loud. I have to like sit in another room. We want to be on Clubhouse together. Like, Jesus. So everyone that said like, oh, you guys in a relationship, you were right. You were fucking right.
So then you
Brad.
get that out of the way.
Yep.
You know what? I am so fucking sick of this that you have really warped the world, and to everybody in this house.
You warp the world? What type of clapback is that? That sounds like a fucking white woman. Warp the world? You sound like fucking Moana. Okay, everybody, April Fools! April Fools!
You know, I got caught earlier on April Fools. It pissed me off for about maybe 5 seconds. All right, cool.
Man, I have missed that right there. I have missed that right there. That is well worth the wait. Thank you, Granny KK. Well worth the wait right there. That was hilarious.
Did we have anyone fooled?
I was definitely fooled.
No.
I don't know you guys well enough yet.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
We tried.
Okay, we tried. I knew I was doing bad when Thunder just starts laughing at me. I'm like, oh God, I'm doing terrible. I'm a terrible liar. Anyhow, let's get back to the conversation. We have 10 minutes left. I'll let you guys keep going, and then as soon as I unmic to play the live feed, please mic up, and then we'll discuss afterwards. But okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Brad doesn't have enough melanin for us to believe that.
So I have a question of the people that say we're losing. I want to understand where that comes from. Like how people can say we're not winning this, this war, military engagement, whatever you want to call it. How are we losing though? Like seriously.
I will.
We need to define win and loss. Don't we have to do that first?
Wait. Mr. Right-Minded, I've got a whole set. So I can say this. Some people on stage can say this. It's because they were bitchereens. But I'm just kidding. None of you can say that to my friend down there.
Really? Do you know how many Marines are on stage right now? Hello?
And they're all eating Crayola crowns.
I'm not backup.
Get up, Rick.
Oh, I miss you guys so much. Yeah, I thought I was gonna have to buy a dog so I could go to sleep with the dog. Yeah, I know where it comes from. A lot of people, there's a lot of like AI, Mr. Right-Minded. There's a lot of, I guess, non-belief in America's capabilities and powers. Even though some of us were literally the guys implementing that power. In fact, there are people that are really concerned in our government that we're using too much power and showing our hand a little too much of our capabilities. So, I mean, I like from there, I don't understand where people are getting the stats. Like Iran is winning or pounding us because we're at 13 losses, which is really hugely unfortunate. I agree for all of you. And I think 130 wounded, 160 wounded, which again is terrible. But these are acts of war, and military combatants will put themselves in the harm's way. And we do. I mean, even I hope for the absolute return of every single one of them home, safe and sound and whole. But the realities are on the ground that Iran is not winning. They're not they have no naval assets. They have no forces that could match us. And I don't know where they're getting their data from because they can't be reading the same information I am. And I'm not just reading America's. Well, maybe, but I mean, it'd be interesting to hear, you know, some other perspectives that don't align with mine.
We have to remember the same media that's been trying to convince everybody that Ukraine's been winning the war over there against Russia. You know, remember they were trying to tell people that, you know, Russia ran out of fucking ammo and that they were fighting with shovels, remember? That was literally a meme going around. So I don't trust anything these assholes say, and it's gotten kind of political at this point where they're kind of rooting against Israel, America, and Trump because they're hate for Trump or hate for Israel, but there's no metric where the Iranians are winning. I mean, them being able to maybe close off the Strait of Hormuz temporarily might be, you know, I guess looking in their favor. And then, of course, they have the media on their side. But at the end of the day, I think we're still going to prevail here. And, you know, I mean, we've annihilated their Navy, their Air Force. The IRGC is pretty much, I mean, I've been watching videos on X, you know, where there's IRGC, you know, saying that pretty much everyone's abandoned their post and shit. A bunch of people have just, you know, have left. They don't want to be killed, you know, and they don't really know what the direction is, you know. And so I'm hoping that that's going to start gaining steam, you know, where people are abandoning their posts and saying, fuck. I mean, they're literally afraid to, you know, to be killed, you know, by some fucking bomb. So I think we're going to prevail in this thing, you know, but that's going to put us in a stronger position against China. That's going to put us in a stronger position with this whole thing with Venezuela and Iran. You know, no more cheap sanctioned oil going to China, you know, and I think the petrodollar is going to remain strong. And, yeah, I think we'll prevail with this whole thing, so.
The one thing I look at is people want to talk about
opposing person on stage.
How is that going to put us in a stronger position?
Yeah, I wish there was an opposing person on stage.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not saying that Iran is winning anything. You know, I'm sure the United States has a lot, much stronger military power than Iran has, and they're obviously, like, drilling down on Iran. However, economically and politically, don't you think that not America? Yeah, America is losing a little bit because of the rising cost of things like the gas, and which is eventually going to affect groceries and every other thing that we buy. Don't you think in that way, Iran knows it's running
The reason why I don't like that argument is because Obama, back literally not 2008, but 2012, he had national gas prices almost at $5
This is
a
an
gallon.
espresso Vertuo sample pack with 32 different flavors. This is going to be our first flavor we're going to test. It's a double espresso scoop.
That's because you're in district pad 3,
What
but
the hell are you seeing $2.80?
$2.82 in Lubbock, Texas. Look on gas, L-U-B-B-O-C-K, Texas.
I'm in Texas now, and I'm upset.
You're probably over in Dallas or Houston or Austin.
I'm around it.
You're not shopping around either. You should use Gas Buddy. And you should also, I'm trying to help you here, man, if you want to save money on gas. Okay, go ahead and talk. I was going to try to help you how to save gas. Download Gas Buddy app. And you'll be able to find it for under $3. And then if you use the Walmart Plus app, you get an additional 10 cents off.
So the thing that is really baffling me.
Hold on, wait a minute, Ben. When did gas determine? Hold on, Ben. Ben, hold on. Wait a minute. When did gas? Hold on, wait a minute, man. Just wait a minute. Hold on now. When did gas determine if we are winning a war? Gas prices. When did that become the benchmark for if we are winning or losing a war? Seriously. Like, give me the historical reference point to that.
This guy,
because you said it was going to be a no wars president. He's never
So
said.
you're avoiding the question, though.
But no, let me.
That's a great answer question no one asked you, though. My question here, he's trying to say. Now, you know what I'll do, Ben, if you don't ask the question. I'm asking very simply.
I thought you.
I'm asking very simply, though. Give me one historical reference. Wait a minute. Give me one historical reference of when gas prices determine if a country wins a war or not.
COVID.
I'm waiting to answer. Go ahead.
Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said?
And I thought it was moronic when you said gas prices. You implied that that's a problem. Losing the war. Come on.
I clearly
What was
said
gas was at $5 a gallon.
Each other. Why are you guys talking over each other?
Yeah, that's Mr. Like-minded style. I've known him for a minute now, so he always talks to me, but that's okay.
Simple.
I clearly said, Iran is not winning this war. From a military power, no, they are not. America is clearly dominating this war from a military power. But when it comes to the economics involved in it and the politics involved in it on the American soil,
In the microphone or something like that.
Donald Trump's campaign at his different rallies.
All right, hold on. Real quick. 3M Club 97.
Stop. I want to hear what he says.
329 again.
Yeah, 329. Because I'm in Texas.
Yeah, I just
Before they started, gas was at $2.49. And I really don't care. I mean, not that I'm bright, I can afford $2 for that, I can afford $3.50. It doesn't really bother me. But what I'm saying is,
You think you got a Tesla?
he's been out there talking about gas at $1.99. He campaigned on zero new wars. That's one of the reasons he got in there.
All right, hold on, KK. It's beginning.
What did KK say?
Yeah, Ben, shut
One
up.
of the other.
Go on mute. Go on mute.
Go ahead.
Go on mute.
KK, you there?
Also, don't let any more West Africans on stage.
Let's have on this point, Mr. Right-minded man. Since when did gas prices put you What are you doing? Never mind.
And welcome to Amity, and we start with this Fox News alert. The president of our country, of the United States, Donald Trump, he will deliver a major address from the White House in just a moment. The president is expected to give a huge update on the conflict with Iran, which appears in its final stage. In fact, according to the president, Iran's president is now asking for a ceasefire. Well, no thanks to NATO, by the way. Our own Peter Ducey, he's live. He's outside the White House. Peter, we expect him in about 70 seconds now.
Yes, so I'll be really quick. No ceasefire, Sean, until the Strait of Hormuz is open. And the challenge for President Trump is going to be reassuring Americans that fury is winding down in the next 2 or 3 weeks, at which point gas prices will come down, he says, while also not really giving away too much to the Iranians about what remaining American assets in the region are doing. There's still the issue of uranium that could be collected. There are, but he is going to tell us about how wiped the Iranian army and navy and ballistic missile facilities at the moment after a month plus of this operation. So expect to see him walk out right on time, Sean.
You know, I'd expect to a threat. How close were they potentially to having nuclear capability? I'm sure that will come up tonight. The issue of 60% enriched uranium, I would expect that might be discussed, and also the issue of NATO. All right, let's take you inside the White House. We expect the president is going to walk straight to the podium, and here's the president of the United States.
Thank you very much. Fellow Americans, good evening. Thank you very much. Congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts on the successful launch of Artemis 2. It was quite something. You'll be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown and will very substantially pass, go around it and come back home from a distance that has never been done before. It's amazing. They are on the way. God bless them. These are brave people. I want to God bless those 4 unbelievable astronauts. As we this evening. It's been just 1 month since the United States military began Operation Epic Fury, targeting the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, Iran. In these past 4 weeks, our armed forces have delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield. Victories like few people have ever seen before. Tonight, Iran's navy is gone. Their air force is in ruins. Their leaders, most of them terrorist regime they led, are now dead. Their command and control of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons, factories, and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks. Our enemies are losing in America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before. Before discussing this current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes. That it was quick, lethal, violent, and respected by everyone all over the world. After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world. And now we're working along with Venezuela, are in a true sense joint venture partners. We're getting along incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas, the second largest reserves on earth after the United States of America. We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help our allies. Tonight I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This radical regime has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years. Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs. They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel, something that most people have never seen anything like it. This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own people who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first. And perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, the father of the roadside bomb. He lived just horrible. Iran would have been perhaps in a far better, stronger position. He lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big. And then very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash, green D.C. and Maryland, all the cash they had, flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran. They would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. It would have been a different world. There would have been no Middle East, no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts. Had I not terminated that terrible deal, I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so bad right from the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do. They made mistakes, and I am correcting them. My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement. For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Those beautiful B-2 bombers performed magnificently. We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles, and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible, and they had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out. We took them all out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, but in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes. As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion. As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran. Twice this past month, I've traveled to Dover Air Force Base, and it's been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission for which they gave their lives, and every single one of the people, their loved ones said, please, sir, please finish the job. Every one of them. And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. The short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest in history in 1 year. We've taken a dead and crippled country. I hate to say that, but we were a dead and crippled country after the last administration and made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by far with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion, and the highest stock market ever with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year. It all positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming. They never imagined it. Remember, because of our Drill Baby Drill program, America has plenty of gas. We have so much gas. Under my leadership,
They've got so much gas!
Gas on the planet without even discussing the millions of barrels that we're getting from Venezuela. Because of the Trump administration's policies, we produced more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Think of that, Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. And that number will soon be substantially higher than that. There's no country like us anywhere in the world, and we're in great shape for the future. The United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. We've beaten and completely decimated Iran. They are decimated, both militarily and economically and in every other way. And the countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it easily. We will be helpful, but they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it ourselves. I have a suggestion. Number one, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much. And number two, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before. Should have done it with us as we asked. Go to the strait and just take it. Protect it. Use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy. And in any event, when this conflict is over, the strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing and the gas prices will rapidly...
The spice must flow!
Very much, frankly. They came down a little bit, but they've had some very good days over the last couple of days. We've done actually much better than I thought, but we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of this horrible threat. With our historic tax cuts, where people are just now talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible, they are getting so much more money than they thought. That's from the great big beautiful bill. Our economy is strong and improving by the day, and it will soon be roaring back like never before. It will top the levels that it was a month ago. I've made clear from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved. Thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical and much more reasonable. Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there's no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of surviving or rebuilding. But we could hit it, and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force. The nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust. And we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them make a move, even a move forward, we'll hit them with missiles very hard again. We have all the cards, they have none. It's very important that we keep this conflict in perspective. American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days. World War II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years, 5 months, and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days. We are in this military operation, so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a new investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't believe the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing. The brilliance of the United States military. Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. You see that beautiful milk? That's what we're here for.
Patricia, Marshall, Zig, occasionally KP when he's sober. All of these guys are what I consider my family, and I met all of them through Clubhouse. And so you guys can have at it. I only intercede on occasionally, but Mr. Right-Minded or KK or Marshall, you want to lead it off with what you didn't like, which you liked, and I say we let Zig and Ice kick it off. I'm ready for rumble. Let me get that popcorn going.
I just gotta say, I'm in shock and awe. ICE is over here advocating killing 12-year-old innocent civilian girls, man. Insane. And fucking.
All right, here's the shock and awe. The guy's talking stupid shit, talking about how we targeted 12-year-old girls. We didn't target them. It was a bad misunderstanding. It was a bad intelligence situation. And you want to come in there and act like the U.S. is targeting them. That's the stupidest fucking shit I've ever heard. You literally said in there, too, there's no imminent threat, but if we're going to die, we're going to die a death of 1,000 paper cuts. A death of 1,000, a death of 5 paper cuts, 500,000 paper death to America for 47 years. You just said they've been preparing for 20 years, Sig. So what you're telling me is we should wait for them to prepare for 40 years so you can't come in. Because when you wait at that point, you cannot go in and stop them from getting a nuclear weapon because
No, we just shouldn't be fighting foreign wars and letting our young men, American men and women die.
So here's the deal. War, people die. People die more. But there's only one side that will kill, literally target men, women, children. They literally put 12-year-olds in their fucking military. My point is you want to talk about children. They're putting children, a gun in children's hands and saying, go to war. And you think that's not a problem. You think that it's not, okay, we don't know that they don't have ICBMs. They just came out and said they did. So what do we wait till I'm going to ask you this thing.
No, we just shouldn't be fighting for these dirty kikes over in Israel, you know?
So here's the deal, Sig. How long does it take for an ICBM to land when it takes off from Iran? How long does it take to get to the U.S.?
That's for Sig, not Leo.
Oh, I was just saying what Sig was thinking.
No. You are not Sigaroni. Sigaroni has his own voice. Quiet now, Leo.
He's Googling now.
Come on, Sigaroni.
No, I'm actually waiting for the mod to stop talking because I don't interrupt mods. I don't disrespect mods in their own room. So, again, what was your question? So I can make sure I answer it thoroughly.
How long does it take an ICBM to get from Iran to the USA?
So I'm going to drop a link in the chat. I'm going to drop a link in the chat.
30 to 40 minutes.
You gonna let me answer the fucking question? Or you want to answer the question? I'll shut up and let you go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't ask for a link.
Yeah, I got 5 words in. You asked me a question. I got 5 words in, and you can't shut your fucking pile.
I don't want to.
This is what I'm talking about with you emotional fucking bitches.
I could ask anybody else.
So if you're gonna go ahead and finish, and I'll answer your question when you're done. Go ahead.
You can do anybody on here. Can you answer? 30, 40 minutes. That's it. That's
45 minutes.
I don't fucking know.
45,
You
man.
can't talk about men being emotional when you got screenshots of you. If I ask you a question, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and let you answer, not cut you off. Well, then shut the fuck up and let me answer. Let me get at least 5 words in. Fucking Christ, man. So again, here we go. Here we fucking go. Yo, Miles, let me know when he's finished and I'll answer. Just go, Sig.
I'm sorry, I slept away. I was getting dinner and literally pouring a beer. What's going on here?
Sig, they asked me a question. I get 5 words in, and then he wants to answer it for me.
Leo.
All right, let him go.
Leo, we don't need your help.
I asked him a question, and he goes, "Well, here, let me go get a link."
And then you cut me off. I was gonna answer your question. So again,
how long does it take for an ICBM to get to the U.S. from Iran?
Okay, so then you asked him, and there's wait, ice. You asked him. It's done. If he doesn't know, he doesn't know. It's about 45 fucking minutes. And so Sig, go ahead and answer.
Yeah, so again, there's been no confirmation of them having ICBMs. Everything that's been reported is them wanting to create ICBMs. So that's what I was going to tell you. So it doesn't matter how long it takes because there's no intelligence firm, including the U.S., including Israel, has not confirmed, bro. And this has been reported. I can drop the links in the chat to support my fucking claim. So that was my.
And he said, how long should we wait until they get them? Another 20 days?
Leo, hold on. I think what you mean is that they have intermediate range ballistic missiles. They just don't have any ballistic missiles that can reach the continent of the United States, any of our islands, or like large.
Not yet.
I think
By default, it's not an imminent threat. Thank you.
Jesus.
Actually, they've claimed it. I will put some links in there. They claim to have an ICBM just recently. So the fact that they claim it, are you going to say that our intelligence knows absolutely everything? Because right now they've admitted we don't know where all their missiles
what they
are
did
at.
was take the payload out of the rocket and fill it up with gas and claim
Intelligence is always off.
Do me a favor and put these.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Mars, hold on. Guys, when people are talking, that whole entire room wants to hear each person talk. I know I haven't been on here for a long time, but I'm raring to put some people in the shut the fuck up section if you cannot respect when somebody's talking on the floor. Sig, first of all, were you done, brother?
Nah, I wasn't, man. I wasn't.
Go ahead, Sig, you got the mic. Go ahead, floor.
Copy. Thanks. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you, Mr.
Absolutely, brother.
Mr. Right. Good to see you, brother. So again, to have something and it being confirmed are 2 different things. I mean, we're grown-ass adults. We should know the difference between this, okay? So again, people can claim shit all fucking day, but has it been confirmed? The answer is no. There is zero intelligence reports that have confirmed that they actually have them.
So, say, I'm going to disagree with this and side in on, I don't know who, I'm siding in with myself. Diego Garcia, 2 missiles, 2 ICBM ballistic missiles were launched at Diego Garcia. We'll say it was more of a missed BCM because they never reached their targets. And we were tracking their guidance. You are aware that those launches did occur. We shot one down, the other one went, it did a couple loops and a couple like tumbles, and then it went to the ocean because it didn't reach it. IBMs. So I would say they're missed BMs. That's a pun intended. Maybe they launched them out of camels. I don't know. Maybe they hit the camels in the balls and launched them out of the throat of the camel. I don't know.
Much, Brad. Too much.
Put them in the go.
You will. Shut up. The idea that event did occur. I mean, so we are aware that they do have ICBMs. We are aware that they have verified it by international agencies and Iran themselves, saying they were at 60% uranium enrichment, so that does make it weapons grade. They have 400 kilograms of that still hanging out somewhere hidden in their territory. So I guess that's possible. They can at least make 30 bombs with those, which I would argue would be probably more problematic for the region of the Middle East. So does that clear up some things?
Yep, radioactive fallout.
Yeah. Here's what I would ask, Brad. I would ask to see the link, because I just looked at the link ICE says, and again, Iran claims. So here's the thing. We want to believe Iran when they claim certain things, but then when they claim that they hit one of our ships, we don't want to believe. We're only believing stuff that works in our favor, and then throwing baby out with the bathwater when it doesn't favor us. That's what I'm saying. It's the flip-flopping, bro. So which is it? Do you want to believe Iran in one case and not believe in the other, or what? And again, I would like to see in the link that it's been confirmed, because the link that ICE just put in, it's the Iran claims. There's nothing that's been confirmed. That's my point.
Okay, so I'll ask Brad, because it could be a quick yes back and forth, yes or no. Brad, they told us we knew they could hit about 1,200 kilometers, right? And they said they didn't have ones that could go further than that, but then they hit a base that was 2,500 roughly. We got in the area, they shot at it and got there, right?
No. 1,200 miles is 2,500 miles. 1,200 miles is 2,500 miles. It was like 4,000 whatever kilometers or some shit. Actually turned out to be like 6 or something.
All right, so then what we could say is they actually fired an ICBM, and one of those links they actually have one that verifies that they tested it. That
reach Paris.
10,000, but they could go 10,000 now. They claim they didn't have a 2,500. So are we throwing out the baby with the bathwater because we gotta believe that they don't have them because intelligence?
Well, they showed the distance from Diego to
Rich. Control the autism.
Helping him.
I understand, brother. Let him make it.
I'm talking about the one where it says they verified that they fired an ICBM and they're claiming 10,000 kilometers on it. Okay, so now we can sit here and we can throw the baby out with the bathwater because they only had the 1,200, but they did have 2,500. So the 2,500 must have been somebody else's because they didn't claim they had it, and there was no verifiable. Was there any intelligence that said they could go 2,500? Nobody had that. We didn't have it. It was a surprise to us. So we can sit here and throw the baby out with the bathwater, like you say, because you think intelligence. Where was the imminent threat on 9/11? We didn't know until the planes hit. So what you do is you go with what you got, and go a little further and go look at our promises to our allies. Hell, Hillary Clinton said it. We will defend our allies. We will go in. We will put boots on the ground. We will bomb the shit out of Iran. She had no quarrels about what she said she would do to Iran. She said she would make sure. Back then, she said, I will make sure that they will never, in my term or any future president's term, get a nuclear weapon. Now, that goes back to 2016. She was the Secretary of State before that, and she was that concerned, that she was that vocal about it. But we want to pretend that intelligence knows absolutely everything. But then you come on here and say our intelligence is making up stuff. Our intelligence lied. Our intelligence said they had weapons of mass destruction. Tell me, so do we believe the intelligence or don't we? Do we sit at home and wait till we get attacked or don't we? Do we die by 1,000 cuts, or do we go try to prevent the 1,000 cuts? Which way would you like it?
Okay, so you gotta give them time to answer.
All right. So again, I just looked at the link Brad dropped. Ballistic missiles are different than intercontinental ballistic missiles. Secondly, that is within UK is within the range of the Middle East. Okay. So again, what Tulsi Gabbard testified in front of Congress, she said out of her own mouth they were not an imminent threat. This is the head of intelligence. Okay, and then Trump starts giving her shit. All of a sudden, magically, she starts changing her mind. Again, I'm going off of this administration telling multiple lies, switching their story and flip-flopping. Trump made fun of for several years, and even in 4K, he was on video saying, and even his tweets, you can look at my PTR, he was talking about Obama being a clown pretty much, and what he's going to do is try to bomb Iran in order to get reelected. So Trump is chastising a president for claiming or wanting to bomb Iran, yet he turns around and does the same exact thing. Benjamin Netanyahu, for the past 30 years, has been claiming, Iran's, they're 6 months away, they're only a few months away. Since 1995, 1996, and nothing's come to fruition. And like I said, you guys have yet to post a link showing that it's been confirmed, and all I see is claims, and not intercontinental ballistic missiles, just normal ballistic missiles that have normal.
Yo, so
again,
I can actually ask you a question.
Hey, no.
Oh, I thought he was on.
No, he's not. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'll be quick. So again, it's about an imminent threat to the United States. They are an imminent threat to surrounding regions in the Middle East, not the United States. And when I talk about death by 1,000 paper cuts, again, look at the low-tech technology that they've been using. They have literally been launching little $50,000, $20,000 bullshit drones and missiles, and we've been using $1 million fucking missiles to shoot them down. They're doing this shit on purpose. They're having us waste our resources and waste our money shooting our expensive stuff while they launch off shitty ass low technology duds. And I'm telling you, man, they have been studying us in the Middle East for the past 20 years. They know our weaknesses. They know we are a ground up central command. They have structured a mosaic command military for that purpose. So you can keep cutting the heads off the snake, reappearing because of how they're restructured off of our presence in the Middle East in the past 20 years. So this is going to be a death trap. They are setting this up. Karg Island is literally a fucking fishbowl. Literally shooting fish in a barrel when those Marines show up. They're going to fucking die. They have 4,000-foot mountains there that they have bunkers and missile sites and all kinds of shit. They're not using their best shit right now. So I'm not saying Iran is ultimately going to win, but what I'm saying is they're going to smack the fuck out of U.S. and this is going to be long and drawn out, and there's going to be a lot of American troops and a lot of bloodshed. And those little girls, I'm sorry, brother, I don't advocate. I will never advocate for innocent 12-year-old little schoolgirls getting fucking killed. Nobody said that they were targeting. So you keep switching words and adding shit. I never said they were targeting. The fact is that the United States killed innocent school-age girls, bro. That's the problem.
Alright, so you dodged his question when he asked you. You don't believe when they claimed that they had weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. So even if the intelligence agencies come out and say that they have ICBMs, you're still not going to believe it. So that's kind of,
and that's based on a lot because we were told that they had weapons of mass destruction by George Bush and the intelligence, and come to find out years later, and thousands of troops dead, U.S. troops dead, that it was all a fucking lie, bro. So again, Trump has lied several times, and I can post links of Trump going back for no more regime wars, no more stupid wars, no more Middle East, America first, take our focus, and Trump went back for some reason and totally flip-flopped on what he said. So I have clear evidence and proof that this administration has lied, previous administrations have lied. Okay, I have proof that Israel has fucking lied. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that clear in my conscience and clear in the front of my damn brain housing group. And I'm not going to be so quick to believe the United States, the administrations and the intelligence this time. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to look at things a little more skeptically because we have been lied to. And that is 100%.
Can I just ask a question?
Do you think there could be that we don't know everything and they haven't revealed everything?
Who was they, KK?
The intel.
Now, is that a possibility? Yes, but things that I look at, okay, I look at certain patterns. The fact that two of our most powerful naval ships went out there and fucking retreated. One of them has damage, and coincidentally, it's a kitchen fire, a laundry fire, whatever the case is. Coincidentally, it just happens to be, right? But again, that's what the U.S. side is saying. That's what Trump's saying is that, our boat, the Ford didn't get attacked. It was a kitchen fire. But again, I'm going based off Trump has lied, and he has lied in 4K in front of all of us, okay? So I'm not going to believe everything Trump says now because he has lied over and over and over again. He said he was going to give them 48 hours. Well, guess what? That 48 hours turned into 5 days. Look at the last few press conferences. Minute by minute, Trump has been flip-flopping. Just watch it objectively and watch it skeptically, and you will see he's been flip-flopping every fucking 2 fucking seconds, man. So I'm not believing every word that comes out of Trump's mouth, and I have evidence to support my reason.
Respectfully say, can you impart what you think the agenda is that is what's been said in public?
I'll say that one more time. You're cutting out, Albert. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. So respectfully, of course. If and I don't want to side either way here. Respectfully, if what we're being told in public is not what the true agenda is, can you impart what you believe is, if you're willing?
Yeah, what I believe is, based on my research and what I've been looking at, and looking at previous wars, and looking at how this is going to turn out. I'm looking at Vietnam War, supposed to be 3,000 troops, turning to 500,000, and how many years did we spend over there? How many fucking U.S. troops died because of this shit? I think what it is I think that we are losing market share as far as a petrodollar. We need to keep the U.S. dollar circulating globally to keep up this fucking Ponzi scheme that we have for this $40 trillion in debt. Because once we stop making payments on that debt, we are fucked economically. And I think that as we've been done before, as it's been done before, the American people are told a lie, just like World War I. Look at how we got involved with that, with the Zimmerman telegram.
Well, the telegram was real, so was the Signia Lusitania.
But look at how it was used. They intercepted and they held on to it until an opportunity to use it to convince Congress, because Congress didn't want to go. The American people didn't want to go into war. They brought it out at
He was me. 6 months in between the Zimmerman.
No, he's a mod. He's a mod. He can interrupt me. I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead, Mark.
No. All day was like, I think it was like 6 months or so. But it's the traditional teaching goes that Signia Lusitania brought us in. The Zimmerman telegram played quite a large role. I will grant you, it seems like they held on to it for longer than they should have, and I don't have a good answer for that. It's a good piece of research to do. Sorry, go ahead. I heard that, and it made me think about that.
My point, Marshall, is that, again, I can show time after time after time after time again where our government has lied to us. I can show time after time after time after time again when our government has gone over their metal. And ICE brought up that they were screaming death to America for da-da-da-da. Yeah, they weren't screaming death to America until we went over there and started fucking with them when they decided, hey, you know what? Why are we fucking with this global shit? This is our oil. We can go ahead and set up our own enterprise and make our own fucking money off of it. And lo and fucking behold, we go over there and overthrow their government to prevent them from doing that. So ICE, if you came over to my house when I was trying to get some shit going for me and be financially stable and financially independent, and you came over and fucked at me, I'd be screaming death to ICE too, brother.
Dick, to your point, look at what happened to gold and silver prices with all this debt.
Here's a question I have.
As far as silver prices are concerned, I'm sorry, Mr.
I have one question here. And I understand, see, where you're coming from. But my question is it a bit premature to indict this administration as being like previous administrations when it comes to military operations like this? In fact, I would say this is the first real military engagement in either his first or second term, right? So we are basically a month in, and we're saying we're going to be out in a couple of weeks. How do you compare that to previous war operations from previous administrations? It's too quick, is all I'm saying.
Well, here's the thing, though, Gerard, is that we were supposed to be out a couple weeks ago, a month ago. We were when we did Operation whatever the fucking has. Trump came out and said himself that because we went over there and struck them because they were that the uranium enrichment was a threat, and Trump came out in front of that podium and said, "Yeah, Mary Lou, your mic's unmuted." Yeah, I was just okay, cool. Yeah, so Mr. Right-Minded, Trump came out from that podium and said, hey, it's been obliterated. And you just heard him say in his speech a few minutes ago that their back is being a threat again. So which one is it, man? Again, you're flip-flopping. If you went over there and did Operation Hammer or whatever the fuck that was, and you completely obliterated their shit, how are they still a nuclear thing? And then it changed from, oh, well, now they're oppressing, the IRGC's oppressing people. We got to go over there and help those people. So again, minute by minute, the narrative has been changing, and Trump has been lying. So again, Mr. Right-Minded, I'm not buying anything right now. I'm not buying anything from the right. I'm not buying anything from the left. I'm standing back and looking at this with this.
Can I
That's more than fair enough right there. So the question hold on, wait a minute, man.
Okay.
The question I have is, again, because we just started this literally this second, the actual, I guess, second engagement outside of bombing their military, their nuclear facilities last year. But we just started this 30 days ago, and we're already talking about ending operation in the next couple of weeks. And at least from my perspective, and what we've been able to accomplish in taking out, again, the majority of their Navy, Air Force, their missile capacities, and some other key aspects of their military capabilities, we've taken that out in less than basically a quarter, 3 months, right? I'm still not convinced that they're doing all this flip-flopping. What I think is happening is they are basically adjusting to what the situation is. And I'm not a military guy like you. I was not in the military like you guys were. But from what I'm looking at it is, why are we judging this operation compared to previous historical military operations when it doesn't seem to have the same pretenses? That's all I'm saying.
It absolutely does. So again, weapons of mass destruction, found out that was a lie. And again, I pointed out, I've shown in the chat. Nope.
Trump has never said weapons of mass destruction. They were trying to build nuclear capability. I mean, we destroyed their nuclear sites that were underground that they lied about that said they didn't have. They already lied about that, so they got caught with that. And they were still trying. They already, in fact, from what I understand, they had already told in the diplomatic aspects that they had, I think, 11 missiles, I think, that were ready to be nuclearized, just something to that effect.
Correct.
So now, again, what are we supposed to believe in? Do we wait until they have these capabilities, or do we take them out now? That's a hard question to answer.
Right, but again, Mr. Right-Minded, it's all been claims. There's been zero confirmations, and I've yet to see a link in the chat where it's been confirmed, and that an intercontinental ballistic missile has been confirmed, and it has actually been fired at the U.S. I'm talking about the imminent threat, because this is what it all started with. If you look at the beginning of this, it was all about an imminent threat to the United States. There has been zero evidence showing that there's been an imminent threat. So again, that's why I'm here to the weapons of mass.
Wait a minute. Stop cutting.
Are you taking the beam up position?
Hold on. Stop cutting. Also, who is this talking, first of all? Who is this talking, man? Okay, yeah, you need to shut the fuck up section. Do not cut people off when we're having a back and forth discussion. That's what I'm asking you guys to be respectful, because we have an audience. And what I'm asking, say he's answering, but I want to hear his answers again. And I'm answering what he's saying back. See, you got the floor.
Thanks, Mr. Right-Minded. So yeah, so that's why I'm comparing it to the weapons of mass destruction. And like I said, there's been a bunch of flip-flopping. It was, they're an imminent threat. Okay, how are they an imminent threat? Oh, well, they've got intercontinental ballistic missiles. Everything that I've read, and I've had this conversation with people before, nobody has shown any proof that it's been confirmed. All sources I've read and been shared with me, just like Ice did in the chat, it's all claims. It's all claims. So I'm not saying we need to wait and be sitting ducks, but what I'm saying is, as far as the U.S., Mr. Right-Minded, there's no imminent threat to the United States. And again, it shows the incompetence on the Trump administration side when you have Tulsi Gabbard testifying in front of Congress. She's the head of intel, man. She should know everything. She should have everything. 1 week, there's no threat, and then Trump starts giving her shit, and then instantly she changes her story. Right? So again, what is it as the intelligence agency? Why is it that we're going over there, taking out their uranium enrichment sites, and then you're saying everything's obliterated, there's no more threat, everything's good to go, and then all of a sudden it starts popping back up that they have more shit? So that should be an indicator that maybe what Iran has, maybe we're not seeing all of it. And maybe that should be an indicator that if we go into this thing, maybe they have more behind the scenes, and we're about to send our fucking U.S. troops in there, into a fucking death box, into a fishbowl, that maybe they got got more, and so maybe we should take that in consideration. So like I said, I'm not claiming I'm 100% factual on everything about this, but what I'm saying, there's enough red flags in this, Mr. Right-Minded, that I'm getting off the Trump train. I'm not drinking that fucking MAGA Kool-Aid because something is fishy with all the lies and all the flip-flopping. Again, Trump said... And
that's all good, but I guess where you and I, we don't see eye to eye is, I'm not one for waiting around until some, I guess, agreed upon threshold that says now they are an imminent threat when they can be firing a missile at us or one of our bases to take out our troops like that right there. I'm not sure what the benchmark is for imminent threat being confirmed. That part right there is what really is, I guess, where we differ in opinion at. Now again, I'm not a military guy. Hold on, I'm not a military guy like that. But what I'm saying is, I'd rather be the aggressor than just be the person that's waiting on something to happen than be a reactor.
And I hear you, Mr. Right-Minded, but it's easy to say from the sidelines. Again, none of these guys are sending their fucking kids in. Okay, they just raised the re-enlistment age of 42. Everybody I see championing for this shit, nobody's fucking enlisting, man. So I see a lot of people who are rooting this on from the sidelines. They're not putting boots on the ground themselves. They're not jumping to fucking say, you know what, let me do my part about this. And that's mighty suspicious to me. And then again, Mr. Right-Minded, Trump said in the beginning, this was supposed to be a quick in and out. We've been there for over a month, and now we're ramping up to send a shit ton of troops over there. So something's going on to where it's supposed to be a quick and easy out to now it's been extended, and now we're ramping up forces. So something's going on where and two, look at the hits that they've been making. Okay, look at the low-tech drone technology they've been using. They've been hitting civilian sites. They've been hitting U.S. Military bases. We weren't counting on that, and all of a sudden we struck them, and then now they put a whammy on us. And this is why Trump has been flip-flopping on, talking shit to them, and then retracting on, 48 hours. You got 48 hours, and we're gonna. Oh shit! Wait a minute, hold on. I'm extended to 5 days. When have you ever seen Trump back off like that? It's never happened, bro. He's been backing off more now than we've ever seen him. So that should be an indicator. Something is up. Something's up.
Yeah, I hear you.
Can I get it here, please, Mr. Right-Minded? Hold on one second. How quick do you want it to be there? I mean, again, we're not even 2 months into this thing, and you're saying it needs to be quick. How quick then?
I didn't say that. I'm saying they said it was going to be quick and in and out, Mr. Right-Minded, and clearly it hasn't.
Compared to previous operations, is this not quick?
When they said it was supposed to be we were supposed to be starting off with airstrikes. Then it turned from airstrikes into sending our Navy out there. Then it turned from our Navy backing the fuck off for some. Why is our Navy backing off? If we're this fucking dominant, we're this wrong. How the hell is this little, how the hell is this so-called puny little fucking force backing our fucking Navy off? Okay, secondly, they close the Straits of Hormuz. Why don't we just go in and fucking obliterate the fuck out of them and just reopen that shit up? I'm telling you, man, Mr. Right-Minded, these motherfuckers got some shit up their sleeve, and they're baiting the United States in. They've been studying us for the past 20 years, and they've been taking notes from Russia, whooping Ukraine's fucking ass. These people aren't stupid, man. They're not fucking.
Got it.
So Lions are the reason they don't open it up, Sig.
Excuse me. We're gonna move on. Thank you, Sig. I hope Ice and Sig kind of got that out. By the way, Sig, I would sign up, but I would be the world's worst Marine. Okay? It would not be good.
But you would give proof to the concept that the Navy is the men's division, the Marines
Oh my God. You guys are still seamen, okay? All right.
No, that's what comes out of our hoses.
I know Manfinity and Simon and others wanted to get in. Albert as well. Let's go ahead and open it back up.
I just want to say blessings to the room. I find it very hard to be on the other side of Sid. And I'm not completely on the other side of Sid, because I share his skepticism as it relates to what's coming out of the administration. But I think what he's not fully giving credence to is that there's value in having, dare I say, strategic ambiguity. So when they say 2 days and 5 days and 2 weeks and 3 weeks, and all of the flip-flopping as you see it, to you, that's a red flag for disaster ahead. That's not necessarily the case, because there are a lot of moving parts, and like in the words of Outkast, you can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather. So they might have predicted it's gonna be 2 weeks, and then what happens, brother? The reality hits, the rubber meets the road. And yeah, maybe there are things that they probably didn't fully consider that propped up. They're not gonna put that on display for you to consume or for other. there are tough decisions being made behind closed doors. Do I trust everything that comes out of Trump's mouth? Absolutely not. But to say that it doesn't meet your benchmark of an imminent threat, that's for Donald Trump to decide. He's the one who was voted in by a majority of American voters and got put in there through the Electoral College. He gets to look at all the facts and circumstances. Excuse me. I don't think I was done talking. Oh, I guess you have my privilege, so you can just talk right over me.
Give me a second.
Yes, he does. I don't understand this. Just throw my whole shit off.
Infinity, he has a bond.
That's what I said, but he threw my whole shit off.
It's defined in the 1973 War Powers Act.
Say what?
It's defined in the 1973 War Powers Resolution.
Okay, go ahead and define it. What is it?
Look it up real quick.
We're gonna look it up on the fly.
Looking it up on the fly.
Looking it up on the fly. Okay, let's see what you come up with. 1973. There's an actual definition of imminent threat. Let's see.
Yes.
Okay. And just real quick, you said, well, Tulsi Gabbard didn't, brother, the IAEA, who is the arm of the United Nations, is supposed to confirm their dissolution of their nuclear capabilities. They were playing fast and loose with them, not giving them access to certain parts of the country. Trump said in June, we attacked these 3 sites. He said those 3 sites were raided. He didn't say they were forever never going to be able to resume their efforts. And they did. The efforts were resumed, according to the Trump administration. It could be a lie. And like you said, a lot of these are claims, brother. But we're never going to, you want them to put the proof on a silver platter? It's not going to happen.
Okay, so in the War Powers Resolution, preventing surprise conflicts clearly indicated by circumstances, statute links imminent to an objective standard situation where circumstances clearly indicate conflict is highly probable and breaking the scope of the term is intended to trigger the resolution's protections earlier than simply waiting for the declaration. So those 3 things.
All right, so everything you just said can fit into this circumstance. So Donald Trump can look at the facts, the circumstances. He's in the decision room. He sees all of these details, facts, circumstances. He's got this general saying this. He's the one who gets to make that call, not me, Infinity, sitting in a comfortable chair, not sick, not my man, Mr. Rockminer, who I haven't heard in a long time. Nobody gets to make that call but him. And he's not a can kicker. He's a problem solver. The past presidents, going back from Reagan to now, kick the can. Donald Trump is a problem solver. So you're not gonna get. If he was so gung-ho,
Oh my
he would have
God.
done something in the first term. He was very reticent to make this call because they were so resistant to diplomatic efforts. According to Witkoff, the first time they sat down with them after the attack in June, you'll never achieve with us diplomatically what you will achieve with us militarily. That's what they set off